All right,
Okay,
I'm going to take roll. Mr. Treves,
here?
Ms. Ross,
Here.
Ms. Neff,
Here.
Mr. McCoy,
Here.
and Mr. Pax. All right, well, we have a quorum tonight, and we are expecting all 5 members, so we'll just allow Mr. Pax to come as he's able, and
Yeah.
feel free to move along into the swearing in at this time.
Okay. For anyone who wants to testify, please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony that you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, state, I do.
I do.
And then when you come up to the podium and the mic, that's the more important, state your full name, address, and that you've been sworn in.
Well, before I get into the staff report, I just, for a general housekeeping announcement, wanted to mention to those in attendance that we have had the misfortune in the area of a water line being broken. So you might have noticed all of the repairs and the trucks. That has actually set us up so if you are to need to use the restroom, you would need to go out the main doors, and there is a porta potty out there. So I just wanted to put that in everybody's awareness that you would need to go outside for the restrooms tonight. The other housekeeping item, we did have an agenda sent out earlier, and it was updated to reflect that there is no case for VACU 2515 tonight. That is due to the fact that the applicants requested a tabling officially on Tuesday, so that is off of the agenda, and basically we'll just proceed down the case order, the rest beyond that. So starting with case VA-25-23. So if we're ready, I'll take you all through the staff report on that case. So this is for the property located at 2495 Road Drive. And this property is a 0.237 acre parcel, and this is owned by Christopher Mabry. The applicant is Revive My Home Remodeling, Michael Pirowitz. This request entails seeking an area variance from rezoning case 3752 Cross Creek to allow for a deck to encroach into the 30-foot rear yard setback. So the applicant, as stated, is requesting that setback for a proposed new deck, and this property, again, 2495 Road Drive. The surrounding area, in all 4 directions, this zoning district is single-family planned residential. To the north, this is single-family residences, as well to the south. To the east is single-family residences and Road Drive right-of-way, and then to the west is the Cross Creek HOA open space. All right, we have a couple aerial views for your reference and context. This is the zoomed-out view as described in Cross Creek neighborhood. And here's the zoomed-in view. This is backing up again to that open space treat area. In terms of the staff review, this is a variance request from the rear yard setback, area variance specifically from rezoning case 3752 Cross Creek. This rear yard setback requirement is 30 feet. The proposed deck will encroach 8 feet in the 30-foot rear yard setback, representing a variance of approximately 26% from the standards established under rezoning case 3752 Cross Creek. An existing paver patio extends 16 feet from the southwest corner of the home. A 22-foot easement is located along the rear property, and the proposed deck's edge will run parallel to this easement line. The deck will meet the side setback requirement of 12.5 feet on both sides. And that Exhibit 1 is the measured site plan. So you see that 22-foot distance is the same as the easement that runs parallel with there. And then approximately 21-foot side yard setback on either side. Took some site photos. You try to do our best with the recent snowfall, but I'll give Philip credit for these nice labels so you can clearly see the cones delineating where your property line exists, where that exists, the edge of the proposed deck, that middle cone towards the left, and then the 30-foot rear setback line. Here's a little bit more close in view of the edge of the proposed deck, as well as the 30-foot rear setback. This is a reverse angle. And you see some patio furniture. That is a existing paver style patio that's been in place for quite some time that they will be replacing. And one more photo. There were no technical agency comments, and the remainder of the report is the board analysis with the criteria for your consideration. Happy to answer any questions of the board at this time.
There is a 22-foot easement and there is a 30-foot setback, right?
You're correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the owner. He's going to describe a few things to you, and I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please state your name, address, and that you've been sworn in.
It's Christopher Mabry, 2495 Road Drive. Have been sworn in.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm Michael Purvis, the contractor, 70 Timber Ridge Drive, Pickerington, Ohio.
Thank you. Tell us about what you're trying to do.
We're trying to replace a current paver patio. The current paver patio is falling in 3 different directions at the same time. The yard slopes downhill, and it just is rolling with the yard, basically. Currently just want to build a deck that comes straight out from the back porch, the sliding glass doors at the back, instead of having to go down the stairs to the patio. So it would be raised up higher than it is currently, but then the stairs would be, the drawing actually is only, so where the bump out is on the back of the house, the deck would only go to the far right side of that bump out. So from the corner, so there's the bump out with the fireplace. So, and if you go to past if you view it from the other side, it only goes out to that other corner of that bump out. It doesn't actually go all the way across the entire back of the house. The stairs would go down the other side, down that side of the house.
Yeah, we took that section out so we could put the stairs in.
That
So we
way-
didn't have the stairs going in the backyard. 'Cause
Every-
we're gonna keep going down, it'd be like 6, 7 stairs, so we thought we'd be able to do it.
That, and also everything would be contained behind the house too, so you wouldn't see anything from the front or the sides. And also, the way the elevation works from the street, you won't actually see the the deck anyway, because it goes down the hill past there. So actually, everything's invisible to the street.
Questions?
There are no houses behind us.
The wooded area behind you, that's owned by the homeowners association?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a river down at the bottom of the hill that, or I guess it's in Canyon Creek.
Okay.
Goes back to behind it's about another 150 feet into the woods. So it's not anywhere near our yard line or anything like that.
Other questions?
No, I looked at that one already.
Do I hear a motion?
Is there anyone that
Oh,
wants to speak?
yes, thank you. Is there any audience member that wants to speak on this case? Going once? Okay, thank you.
Do you have a question?
No, I was going to make a motion.
Go for it.
Based on these factors, I move to approve case number VA 25-23 for property located at 2495 Row Drive, Lewis Center, Ohio, seeking an area variance from rezoning case number 3752 Cross Creek, to allow for a deck to encroach 8 feet into the 30-foot rear yard setback in an area zoned single-family planned residential district.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made by Ms. Neff, seconded by Ms. Ross. Those voting, Mr. Travis,
Yes.
Ms. Neff,
Yes.
Ms. Ross,
Yes.
Mr. Pax,
Abstain.
and Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Good luck.
Thank you.
How long does it take to get the variance back from you, so you can tell us on?
So if you might be asking, I believe you've already submitted the zoning permit?
Yeah.
Yep. So typically, we turn that around within the next few days.
Okay.
So we'll send you a copy via the email.
Okay, perfect.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Good luck.
Yes.
I'll be recusing myself from the next application.
Sure. Would you prefer that she go to another room? I'm happy to let her across the hall.
I think she's going back there. I don't know where she's going. It's up to her.
Okay.
I think she's fine.
Okay, so we're on our next case for the evening, also an item of new business. This case, CU-25-24. This is for the property located at 7343 Africa Road. So the applicant, well, I'll give you a couple other details on the property. The lot size here, 1.23 acre, zoning farm residential district. Applicant and owner is Aaron Kaiser. So this request entails a conditional use from section 7.04A of the Orange Township zoning resolution to allow for a home-based business, also known as home occupation, which includes an office, inside storage of supplies, and parking of company vehicles for a small roofing company known as Enhanced Roofing. This business will not have any retail activity or customer traffic. So once again, this site is located at 7343 Africa Road in a farm residential district zoning. For the surrounding area, in all 4 directions around the property, the zoning district is FR1. For the land use to the north, that's single-family residences. To the south, land use is Africa Road right-of-way and single-family residences. To the east, the land use includes Worthington Road right-of-way and single-family residences, and then to the west, more single-family residences. Here's an aerial view. It does denote you can make out the parcel here near, off of Africa Road as stated, and then more close-in view of that property there. All right, the staff review for conditional use. This is 7.04A of the Orange Township zoning resolution. I'll take us through the criteria that this was weighed against. So from 7.04A, number 1, the home occupation shall be carried on solely within the confines of the residential structures and architecturally compatible accessory buildings, which are customarily associated with residential use and character of the neighborhood. The applicant indicated the operation will take place entirely within the confines of the home and also enclosed within the accessory structure. The work is administrative or coordination-based, with tools and materials stored inside of the garage, and most equipment is stored and used off-site for the roofing projects. The applicant states that the home-based business will not negatively impact the nearby residents or property values. Essentially, this number 2 is about signage. The applicant indicated that no signage is being proposed and no exterior changes will occur with the business. Number 3, the home occupation shall occupy not more than 20% of the total floor area of the dwelling unit or 50% of the combined floor space in any garage or accessory building. The applicant indicated that the home office accounts for 99 square feet total, while the home is 1,364 square feet in total. This complies with the requirement that the home-based business area not exceed 20% or 272.8 square feet in total. Additionally, the applicant indicated the detached garage accounts for 325 square feet total, 50% or 162.5 square feet is to be used for the business, and the applicant has indicated that no more than 50% of that space will be used for business purposes. Number 4, no more than 3 non-resident employees shall work on said premises. The applicant indicated that no non-resident employees will work on the premises. Number 5, services may be rendered on the premises or elsewhere. Administrative services would take place on location along with some tool and material storage, complying with the standard. Number 6, all parking demands created by the conduct of the home occupation shall be met off the street and other than in a front yard. Off-street parking may be permitted in a side or rear yard, but shall not be located closer to the street than the required setback line. The required number of off-street parking spaces shall equal the spaces required for the resident use, plus those required for the commercial use which constitutes the home occupation. If no parking requirement is given for a particular home occupation, the parking requirements for the most similar commercial use shall be used in order to calculate the required number of parking spaces. The applicant indicated that there will be no customer traffic associated with the home-based business. Therefore, there's no parking demands that are necessitated by the business. Number 7, no equipment, process, or storage associated with the home occupation shall create odors, noise, vibration, glare, electrical interference, other nuisance, detectable by normal sense off the lot. All activities, materials, equipment associated with business shall be totally maintained within a building. In the case of electrical interference, no equipment or process shall create visual or audible interference in radio or TV or other audio appliances used off premises or cause fluctuation line voltage off the premises. No equipment, process, or storage associated with home occupation shall create any fire or explosion hazard or involve the storage or use of hazardous materials in any concentration greater than that which normally would be found in a dwelling containing no home occupation. So the applicant noted in their application that the proposed use will not create excessive noise, smoke, fumes, or other nuisance associated with the business. There will be no hazardous materials on the site. Number 8, waste materials, solid or liquid, shall not be created on the premises at a level greater than normal to the residential use, unless provisions for the disposition of said waste are acceptable to the Delaware County Health Department and do not create a burden on adjoining property. In their application, the applicant responds that there is no waste that's proposed in association with the business, that the business operates safely and responsibly within all local and state regulations. And then number 9, no activity shall be conducted or permitted which creates a nuisance to neighboring properties. The applicant noted in the application that the proposed use will not pose any hazards to nearby residences. All right, so next we have the exhibits, the first one being the floor plan, which you can see circled as the office area that is pertaining to the business. Applicant has shown that's 11 by 9 space, 99 square feet total. As indicated in the above drawing, the home occupation or home office accounts for 99 square feet, while the home is 1,364 square feet in total. This complies with the requirement that the home-based business area not exceed 20% or 272.8 square feet total. And then we also have a drawing of the detached garage. As indicated in the above drawing, the detached garage accounts for 325 square feet total, while the applicant describes that not more than 50% or 162.5 square feet is used for business purposes. And we have Exhibit 3 that shows arrangement of vehicles. So these vehicles, the applicant will probably be able to confirm the use of the vehicles, and I'll defer to them for that description. So for the board analysis, that comes from the conditional use criteria for home occupation. You can look at that on this report for reference, and then beyond that is the example motions. Happy to go over any questions the board has on this application.
None from me. Anybody else?
Not right now.
Something like this is approved, how's it enforced?
I think like any other zoning process, I'm not sure if our legal counsel, Pete, would like to elaborate, but essentially we would ensure that all of the requirements of the conditional use are upheld. So all of the items that we went through from the conditional use section need to be met, and not just right now, but going forward.
And any applicable conditions that you would place as well on the application.
Okay, thank you.
Is the applicant here? Okay.
Karen Keyser, 7343 Africa Road, Galena, Ohio, 43021. Yes, I've been sworn in.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What would you like to tell us about your project?
He pretty much covered it. It's just, I run a roofing company. Everything is done off-site for the most part, aside from the 3 work vehicles, my office, doing administrative, scheduling, working with insurance companies, contacting homeowners, etc. The only time that employees are there is to pick up a truck, leave their vehicle, take a truck, go, or drop off materials to my red garage, or pick up materials in the morning. So there's no extra nuisance going on there. It's just your typical home from the outside. You wouldn't know. I don't store anything outside. Nothing's ever left in the driveway or on the side of the red garage, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
How many work vehicles are you talking about?
3 regular pickup trucks, size pickup trucks.
Okay, any other equipment?
No.
No trailers?
No,
Are these full-size pickup trucks?
yes.
You mentioned you would be storing shingles and some other materials.
Not shingles, just the odds and ends, the extra from a roofing job, so ice and water, underlayment felt, and maybe some trim coil, nails, ridge vent. Those would be the things that would be in storage, just extra from a job that we
Okay.
would use on the next job.
None of the tar products or
No,
anything that would have an odor to it?
no, the tar products are usually used at that job. We don't save those because they're not gonna be good, so we buy them. They get delivered directly to the homeowner's house, and they get disposed of there in the dump trailer or go with the crew.
Okay. On the vehicles themselves, the diagram shows one tucked in on the detached garage and then 2 back away from the normal home. What is the length of that driveway?
I do not have the exact length of the driveway.
Nearest yard, I don't care.
Oh, God. I'm awful at guessing. I do know that I measured from the street to the back of that vehicle, which was 14.5 feet, and from the apron entrance where it's a transition from the apron to my driveway, that was 10 feet in where the driveway is, and it's on the right-hand side.
What you're getting?
101 feet
101 feet, okay.
from the house to the
Oh,
side
thank
of
you.
the road.
That's helpful.
And the other 2 vehicles would be along that blue line that's showing now?
Yeah, so the red vehicles are to the right of that blue line in between the grass, yes.
Okay.
Eric, do you know the right-of-way, how far her actual property comes to the center of the road?
I don't know exactly. Sometimes that's hard to
Question,
calculate.
question
Yeah.
goes to how long is that driveway is actually legally usable? Well, in the sense that you would be parking vehicles on the driveway. Obviously, you're legally allowed to use the driveway to enter across the right-of-way to your house. But parking construction vehicles in that area is a concern, obviously, by the emails that were received from neighbors.
Yeah.
And it would be my concern as well.
And then, just for a little bit more context, there was a zoning violation that we had received about 2 months ago. This was over the 2 vehicles, given that there is a standard that is in our zoning code that requires vehicles, really any vehicles, to be moved within a certain period of time, or else they would be deemed unused. So when we looked at the trucks, they had stayed in place for over a 7-day period without being moved, and we sent that violation notice. But when we re-inspected later on, they were moved within a 7-day period for that second inspection, so that violation notice was closed. So that was the only standard that the zoning department was looking at, and essentially, those are personal use vehicles as their pickup trucks. So I think in the sense of they can be used as personal vehicles, that's really the ground that the zoning department was able to do any enforcement of on those trucks, is that 7-day unused vehicle standard requirement. So just wanted you to have that context, and I know there were some questions about, well, is this something that the zoning department would still be able to do enforcement on if the conditional use were denied? And the way that we've looked at it is, no, this is the only standard, is that 7-day period is enforceable.
They have to be moved.
They have to be changed, location has to be moved to establish that they're not unused, correct?
Is there restrictions on how close they can be to the road as?
No,
No.
nope, not in our zoning text, but.
So what I would generally say is that, with respect to the right-of-way, and that's a great question, you know, the township would have the ability to, not through zoning, but through statutory authority to require them to remove anything that was placed in the right-of-way. So if the trucks were parked in the right-of-way, there's a different process that we would run through our road department to have that done. Now, that could certainly be a condition as well, if this board, you know, thinks that's appropriate. How many employees does the company have overall?
There's only a couple sellers that would come right now. I'm in the process of hiring.
So when you're at full capacity, how many employees?
Probably me, myself, and 3 other people.
Do the trucks ever, are they always parked, or do you allow your employees to take them to their home?
It depends on the employee. I do allow them to take them with them, but the last instance, the truck was being driven around outside of business hours, so I had to make it a rule to be dropped off again and picked up in the morning.
When they do that, do they leave their car there?
They wouldn't leave it overnight, no. If they took it back to their
They
property,
come in the morning, pick up the truck, they leave their vehicle.
and then they come back and get
And
their own
do you have
vehicle.
any other personal vehicles? I know this is getting into your business a
No,
lot,
it's
but
okay.
how many vehicles at a time?
I have more
at the house?
context too, so the reason, the way that it is just the way that everything flows. So on the left side by the red garage, the nanny comes, so she parks her vehicle Monday through Friday. I park in the middle with my white regular truck that I drive my son to school every day in the middle. The closest spot to the house, so you could fit 3 across there easily, is the open space for whoever would be coming to pick up a vehicle. They could drop it there, then get in their truck and go. And then the left side of that blue line right there stays clear, because when the landscaping company, which is not gonna come now, obviously they're done, but when they were coming, they would back in on the right-hand side of the bottom part of the driveway and have to use that, so I could still exit down the center between the red trucks and their trailer. And that was just the flow of why it was there. And when they are moved, they are parked exactly in the same spot again for that reason. And then when the landscaping person's there, he only has, you know, the length of his mower to fit between the red truck and where the bricks start on my house to get over to be able to access to mow the right side of the yard. So it's there for the actual flow. The nanny actually too, also when someone's parked right there, she's able to do a complete turn backwards in between the red trucks, kind of where the same place that the lawnmower guy would be to go through. She can back up there safely and go out. Same thing with any visitor that's in the driveway.
How long have you been conducting your home business?
I did, 2023, June of 2023, I started this business.
How long have you been at the house? Period. How long have you owned it?
2020. I do have we did end up showing him because in theory, if you drove by on a Wednesday at 5 o'clock, it would look the same Tuesday at 4 o'clock, that the trucks haven't moved. But I do a video and pictures of the violation period time frame of those trucks actually being in use and moved, which he received and was able to drop the violation. Technically, I think it was dropped because the next time they did their inspection, they were in different order so that you could visibly see it. But I purposely parked them in the same spot for the reason of the flow. Because if one truck has to move, then all of them would have to move if it were in any other order.
Okay.
And you never have a trailer there?
No, I don't. The only time a trailer's ever been there is if somebody was dropping off an excess amount of ice and water or underlayment, which happens like one time a year.
So you don't own any trailers?
I don't.
Okay.
So the property, the property, looking at the green lines, I don't know if that's your property line. I don't know what your setbacks are from your side lot property lines, if it's
25 feet.
25? Okay. From the letters we've received from residents, the main concern is sight lines, invisibility, and issues with the vehicles being parked out close to the road. So what I'm looking at, there's one thing on the sightliness of the trucks. That's one issue that I'm seeing within commentary. But there's also a safety issue from visibility, pure just visibility of the trucks being out close to the road. So that would, primary reason why I was looking at that pull-off towards the detached garage is there a possibility that those trucks could be parked parallel off, adjacent to that, close to that truck that is there? I know that might entail adding asphalt or pavement or scratch gravel over there, but so that those trucks do not have to be parked out on the roadway and so close to the roadway.
You're saying add parking
Basically,
where?
you would have 45-degree angled parking coming, that they would be backing up into that, next to that truck that is currently shown on that
So
site.
that's a retainer wall on the side there. That's not flat. That is holding the driveway up. That's probably about this much of a drop.
Okay, that's good to know. So you've got some grade there and taupe you're dealing with that side of the house.
Yes.
And then it descends down as it's coming towards the roadway, obviously, right?
Yes.
I can see kind of from the shadow line there. So, all right.
Yeah, that was a thought before to widen that, but it's a drop. You'd be building up a deck for a driveway, pretty much.
I only ask because that is a viable option potentially to at least get the trucks away from the,
Right, I've thought of all options, I've parked them in many different ways, and this is the only way that it does flow. That actually is not an updated picture. So the problem occurred, to give you a little bit more context, the front of that house, that's not my truck or my trailer. That is, when I first moved there, that's my ex's truck and roofing company and trailer. None of those things are there anymore, but the road now is actually cut off right there. Yep, where your finger was. Right where that telephone pole is, that's where it starts grading down. So the visibility issue, I'm assuming that started from, for the neighbors, is when they came by and they dug the road down about 6 feet, they created a huge hill in my front yard. And they created a huge hill in the neighbor's yard over there. So they used to be able to see all the way to the crossroad prior to them coming and digging the road down 6 feet and taking off about 20 feet of my front yard. When that happened, their visibility dropped. That was in 2022. And since then, I have paid money to grade my hill more for them so that they could have better visibility. We tried to convince the neighbor next door to do his too. He disagreed, but when the new neighbor moved in, she agreed to do it too. So we did it at the same time, both putting in our own money to help the visibility of the person down the street. I've offered solutions to them also, that they reach out to the city and put a bubble mirror across the street, because they used to be able to see to the intersection. But the reason they can't see to the intersection anymore is because of the road going down and the hill being there. But the solution, if you can turn it to look across the street, there actually is a telephone pole right there to which a bubble mirror could be placed so that they can regain their visibility to the crossroads which they once had. So the visibility issue has nothing to do with my vehicles, in my opinion. I've looked at this plenty of times. It started when the road went down 6 feet and the hill became an issue, because it was the hill's fault at first, and now it's my truck's. But if you stand at the back of the tailgate of my truck, I'm 19 and a half feet in from the white line on the road, and I'm 10 and a half feet in from the beginning of my apron. So, and there's a curve, so I'm actually going in. So if you're at their driveway, you're sticking out further. So if you were to look that way, the truck, see, that stinks, because that's a old outdated picture. But the point is the truck is behind that telephone pole. So that telephone pole that's in my yard up above that white sign, the back of the trucks are in further from there, or about right there. I do have a picture, actually, if you want to see it, if that helps.
Do you have printouts or?
Well, I have what you sent me. You know what, I do have printouts, which doesn't give you a good, this doesn't give you a good,
You can think it over, yeah.
so this doesn't really, it's not a good angle to show what I'm trying to say. But that's how far they got.
Philip, I did put those photos in our folder on Dropbox if you want to pull the violation photos up. Yeah.
I know, is it shorter now? Did
yes.
your driveway get shorter?
You did, significantly, from the road change. From the road change.
Okay, that's what we're
Should be under
missing.
violation
Right,
photos.
so the road change is what
Might need to
some
refresh it.
Gotcha. Yeah, it looks like 40, 50 feet.
not,
Yeah, can we tell now how short it is? Goodness, I didn't realize you
Well-
lost that much space.
we lost, so that's what it looks like now.
Oh.
And if you were to look at the picture, see the telephone pole when it was the other roofing company? The telephone pole was way back in the yard. And the white sign was probably where that mailbox is, the
Okay.
white 7343
Okay.
sign.
I was missing that part.
Yeah,
It's hard to hear away from the mic.
Yeah,
sorry.
Okay,
this mic wasn't picking her up.
maybe not. Okay. Thank you.
So go ahead and repeat what you were talking about the
So-
road cutting back into your driveway.
So the road is cut back in the driveway now. I'm not sure which part
No.
you wanted me to repeat there.
You lost some driveway.
I lost a lot of driveway.
Okay.
Yeah, when they took the road down. So see the yellow, or see the property line? So the driveway used to extend out to about where, because it used to just be a double, there you go. It used to just be a double line road. And now it has that, where it starts to turn into another lane. But that was all flat. So they could see all the way up to the intersection, whatever. And then it changed, and now it was a big hill, and everything got shorter. And they can't see up at the intersection, but they weren't able to see up at the intersection prior to my trucks being there either, because we had this conversation the whole time the road change was happening, and they were very upset.
When did the road change happen?
2022,
Okay.
So are we looking at,
That's current there.
that's current,
This is 2024,
that's 24,
and
okay,
this is 2021.
okay, thank
So
you.
how long's the driveway now?
Well, that's what he measured.
Now it was 101 feet.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
well, so that, I just wanted to make sure that that was, we are measuring off of the
Yeah.
current, not the previous.
I can try and measure this.
so another point I'd like to make is they came by, I want to say in 2019, to approve the road change. I did not live there. The neighbors, however, did live there, and they accepted the compensation for the road to be changed. They got to see the plans. They knew what was going to happen, but then now, fast forward to 2025, they're blaming the visibility issue on my trucks.
We calculated that 10 to 12 feet reduction. From that, that's what he's looking at. Okay.
So they've had plenty of time basically to prepare. Because I think the reason came up is they have a teenage driver who just started driving. So they're concerned about those issues, rightfully so. But they have been warned since 2019 that this change was going to happen. It's 2025. I had nothing to do with the road change. I didn't accept compensation. And now they're making it seem that my trucks are reducing their visibility. But it's the hill, and it's the dip, and it's the way that the road is. And like I said, I and my next door neighbor both spent $10,000 combined to just shave down our hill to try to help.
Can you go back to the other picture? The earlier, which you have two dates.
Oh,
I would also like to see if you could help us understand where the folks who emailed in, and then if anyone speaks, where they live.
Sure,
in
they live
relation.
in the house right next door with that red vehicle in it.
Okay. I think we've got a couple emails here, but that's okay.
Yeah, and so they approached me on September 17th and asked me to reposition my vehicles, to which I said no. But I got approached in a way that we want you to reposition your vehicles before we get somebody else involved. And I took that as a threat because I'm parked in my driveway. And so shortly after, a violation came in from Orange Township, which was not even appropriate to what they were complaining about. They were complaining about visibility, but since there isn't a rule for visibility, I'm assuming that they went for the next thing that they could, which was inoperable vehicles, to which I proved that they're not inoperable. So they're just doing any which way that they can to make me comply, which is not fair to me. I'm just trying to mind my business and run a roofing company. I'm a single mom of 2 kids. I can't be playing musical trucks in my driveway. And again, this didn't just happen. They knew their son was turning 16. They knew the road was changing 6 years prior to this being a problem.
Did the width of your driveway change at all?
It did, actually, a little bit. It was skinnier, and when they cut off the driveway, we convinced them to give us a little bit more asphalt on that left-hand side so that we could park more vehicles because we're losing so much driveway. So we're thinking maybe we could park them across instead of, you know. But that's just the way that it happened, and that's where they're positioned for my comfort, for the nanny's comfort, for visitors to turn around, go out. You know, there's safety concerns at my house too, that people need to be able to back out and turn around and get out. I back out on the road, but that's because I've been living there for so long. But if you don't live there, you're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Eric, I just want to make sure I understand what is in our purview here.
Sure.
So, so we're weighing on the conditional use, but visibility is not something that the zoning board weighs in on, correct?
It's not a specific code enforcement standard, but I think Mr. Griggs can speak more to
Okay.
conditions and things of that nature that the board could perhaps keep in consideration for the context here, and think about how those can be applied. So if it's something like, what is a safety concern, I'm sure Mr. Griggs can speak a little bit better to that than I can.
Okay, and so it's clear for our residents, could you introduce yourself and your role?
Yeah, my name is Pete Griggs. I am special counsel to the township, and I'm your attorney tonight. So the answer to the question is yes, I think you can consider it, because what you're considering tonight is a use that may be permitted. It's not permitted as a right. So anything that would create visibility, safety concern, safety issue, I think, as long as you're reasonable, you would have the ability to address and potentially put certain conditions on. I know I mentioned earlier, like right-of-way issue, you know, some of those other things like that. So that would be within your purview if you decide to grant the permit to place reasonable conditions.
I have a question about the left side of the driveway as you're driving in. You got that 45 that goes up where your white truck is parked. There's something, a darker green.
That's a tree.
Okay, what is the driveway? Is there a big slope down there also? You said there
It
was.
starts at the ground level right on the corner there where the transition is down.
Go to the front of it, the front of the vehicle.
Yeah, right there. So it's pretty much ground level right there, and as it gets closer to the house, it gets deeper and deeper.
Yeah, okay. I was just trying to get a bird's eye view from the bird's eye view, I guess.
Right.
So. Other questions? And the pole that we've been talking about is being crossed by the right side green line?
Yes, so that's like where my yard, well, it all grades towards the road, but that's where it actually made the steep hill. So we graded both of our yards, me and the neighbor on the other side, but the guy who was grading the yard can't grade anymore near that telephone pole because nobody knows how deep that needs to be. So there was still always a hump right
Hump
there,
right there,
and that
yeah.
is literally the visibility issue. If you're standing in their driveway and you look, that's the part.
That's kind of the high point right there at the pole.
Yes.
And your
And-
trucks were always towards the house of that, right?
Prior to this year, yes.
Yeah.
Depends, I don't know, you saw my ex's trucks and stuff being also parked
Yeah.
closer down to the road, et cetera. I mean, it all just depends on how many people are around. I had renovation of 3 bathrooms and my whole driveway was used up this year, you know?
So the reason currently that you're not parking them closer is because of traffic coming in and out?
Yeah. But yeah, the flow of traffic, and like I said, I have 2 kids, it's just me. One's autistic, who's an eloper, I have a 7-month-old, I can't be messing around outside playing musical trucks every single time someone comes to pick up a truck. Or, you know, an Amazon truck drives in, you know, it's just the flow of it, and for the safety of everybody, and for the nanny to be able to turn around, and all of it. It's the only way that it works.
Is the nanny there when you're there?
Yes.
Okay. So typical max number of vehicles you have parked in the driveway? 4? You have the
Right now,
nanny,
4,
nanny and
yes.
3 trucks, or you have the nanny and then you have somebody that's replaced the truck with whatever they drove to pick up the truck?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying this is your responsibility, but who maintains this, like, the bump around the telephone pole? Like, has anyone reached out to, is it the county?
The count.
That looks like a county road to me.
Okay.
I don't believe that's township. No, I think that's probably a county road. I'm not 100% because I'm not as versed in jurisdictions for all the roads.
I'm just curious if enough residents reached out about it, that they would take a look at it. I don't know.
Other questions?
Not,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Eric, did you just get the email I sent you? I
It
just sent you
depends
a
what time.
video that shows that
Okay.
what she just said was incorrect. My name is Jennifer Ruoff. I live at 7327 Africa Road. I am the house that is to the north of Aaron
Truck.
with the red truck. I was sworn in. Can I show you guys this video real quick? This is the Amazon driver turning around in her driveway today where he can't get out because she says that the vehicle parked and then you can pull another vehicle through and then another is not true. So here's the video, if you'd like to see it. Sorry, it's far away.
That's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I apologize.
I'm gonna turn your phone,
probably
okay?
very, yeah,
I didn't.
emotional, and I probably will cry because this is, she just lied through the whole testimony.
Well,
I
you're
can prove
talking
it.
to us,
Yeah,
so-
just
Yeah.
talk to us. Just breathe.
I don't have a video in my inbox yet.
They're
so-
watching it, I can send it to your email as well. He can't turn around, there's no place to turn around. He backs out, and the whole time he's terrified. And if you look too, you can see where the hill, the bump in the hill is not causing visibility issues, it's actually her truck's causing visibility issues. Yeah. And Eric does have pictures too of the trucks blocking the visibility.
In order for them to consider, they're gonna have to enter into the record and an exhibit, so we're gonna need a copy of the video.
Makes
Just
sense.
clarify the turnaround part, I'm
Hold-
talking
hold on.
about.
Hold on.
But that's in
Yeah.
her driveway.
That's
Yeah,
in her
You'll
driveway
get a
from
chance
us.
to speak in a minute.
Okay. But that's in her driveway, not necessarily a residence or an adjacent driveway.
No, that's her, I'm in my driveway, what looks,
Videotape.
videoing her driveway, the Amazon driver not being able to turn around because of
You're good.
the vehicles. And you can see clearly in that video, it's not the hump of the hill or what the county did, it's her trucks causing visibility issues. And she's never mentioned a mirror. She's always been combative about us asking her to move any vehicles. So, and I have a statement to read as well that I wrote before that shenanigan.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not saying that this onus is on you, I'm just curious. Have you contacted
The
the
county
county
doesn't
or
care
anything?
about anything. And her lawn care guy doesn't park in the driveway. He parked on Africa Road and almost caused several accidents. And now he uses the corner lot that's owned by the county to park in. So he hardly pull in the driveway. So I'll read this to you. Hello, my name is Jennifer Ruoff. My husband, 3 children, and I live at 7327 Africa Road, directly north of the house in this application. Since the applicant, Erin, has moved in almost 6 years ago, her and her previous partner have operated their roofing businesses from their home without a conditional use permit and parked many branded work vehicles and equipment, including a dump trailer, in their driveway. I've helped Erin with her son, mowed her lawn, watched her dogs while she's been out of town, and until recently, considered her my friend. Currently, things have gotten out of hand, and her driveway has become a parking lot for her commercial company. Instigating a complaint on this application, that was a typo. A handful of months ago, the 2 trucks in this photo, do you have the photo I sent you? Well, I mean, you guys saw where the trucks were. There's a better photo that shows that photo. See, the hump is not in the way. Her trucks are in the way. 2 trucks in this photo were moved in the location in her driveway after I stated I was not interested in allowing her to obtain an easement across our property to potentially connect the sewer located in a neighboring property. This would affect our property value, I'm a realtor, as well as it could affect our plans to add an addition or our home and maybe someday put in a pool. Since she has obtained a trailer that is parked in front of the home, as well as 2 commercial vehicles. There is a trailer parked in front of the red garage. It's been there for about 3 months. It's a trailer. It can't be there according to the law.
Hold on, guys.
Guys.
Hey, we don't argue with each other. You're testifying in front of us, to us.
Can she stop
You'll get a
talking then?
chance to say something after she's
No,
done.
I didn't talk when she talked.
you have the floor.
Thank you. She since has obtained a trailer that is parked in front of the home, as well as 2 commercial vehicles, which are branded and considered equipment per the IRS accounting terms. Especially if she's writing any part of these vehicles off on her business taxes. This equipment violates Section 705 prohibited uses of the Orange Township zoning code. Section D, no trailer of any type, boats, no motorhomes or equipment of any type should be parked in front of the front building line on any parcel within this district for more than 24 hours in a 10-day period. So if she is riding off any part of those vehicles, they are considered, per law, equipment. These trucks are commercially owned and with their signage provide mobile billboards as advertising the business. They're hardly used. I could show you video, it didn't download, hardly ever moved. Never. Even during the busy season, they are primarily in the same exact spots. There's also only 1 adult living in the home, so there's no one else who drives these vehicles but employees, and that, again, is very rare. We have not reported this issue to the township zoning staff prior to now because we wanted to be good neighbors. And when we addressed the issue with Richard Parrish, the other homeowner, a few years ago when our visibility was blocked because of the truck you guys saw, he immediately moved the vehicles out of our site view. After she moved the trucks to their current location, they did not move for many months. The truck closest to Africa Road has a ladder on top of it and constantly blocks visibility for any vehicle that exits our driveway. Our oldest son, Grant, recently turned 16 and is now driving, so my husband asked her, nicely, to move the trucks away from the road a few feet so Grant could see oncoming traffic. She has plenty of room in that long driveway to park the vehicles closer to the home, but she refuses because why would she give up advertising space for her company? And she also stated during that conversation that she wouldn't move them because we weren't good neighbors because we wouldn't give her an easement to cross our yard, even though she hadn't even gone to the county for it. With a lack of visibility caused by the placement of the trucks, 1 or more cars traveling from the intersection, some in excess of the 45-mile-an-hour speed limit, can hide behind our commercial truck. This is a frightening situation for my husband and I, for our son, and for our friends and family who visit our home. It's only a matter of time before an accident occurs. My mother lives nearby and visits often. She is the one who filed the complaint, not me. So it wasn't out of anything. I wasn't the one who did it. She shares our concerns about the lack of visibility and potential risk of our teenage son. She's had a couple of close calls when exiting our driveway. She wrote a letter to the township zoning staff asking them for relief from the situation, but it is unfortunate that there is no text within the code that prevents the vehicle from blocking visibility to traffic. Staff did verify the vehicles were not moving as required in the code. Since the township sent notice to the violation, the applicant has swapped one vehicle for another placement, clearly meeting the letter of law, but not the intent of the law. There is no follow-up by the township, admittedly, and since she swapped the vehicles, they have not moved, which has been for over a month. Her unwillingness to vacate the area that blocks visibility and intention to stay just within the letter of the law is evidence that she has no regard for public safety, whether it is for those leaving our driveway or those driving on Africa Road that may broadside a vehicle they cannot see entering the road. And her operating a business out of her home without a conditional use for as long as she had, and using her business vehicles in retaliation proves she's not a good neighbor or a considerate business owner. If this application is approved, she isn't going to suddenly change. Things are only going to get worse, especially now that we have spoken out. Outside of our personal issues with this matter, I'd like to refer back to this time last year when Stellar Construction made a zoning request to turn a lot at the corner of Africa and Worthington Roads just south of our home from farm residential to commercial. Many of our neighbors, as well as the surrounding residents, fought against this, and the trustees turned this down, stating that having any commercial on this side of Orange Township is not part of the community plan. Allowing this conditional use application to proceed and for her to continue to run her business out of this farm residential property also goes against what the trustees voted that evening, as it would be allowing commercial use outside of the community plan. I'd also like to note that a condition of allowing Stellar Construction to go through to present their plans to the trustees per the zoning commission was no equipment or branded vehicle were to be visible from the road, and here we are in a farm residential area with a property being used outside the Orange Township zoning code for as long as it has, and there are 2 branded vehicles sitting in front of the home as billboards, as close to the road as possible. And honestly, it's an eyesore. We don't want commercial in our farm residential area, whether it's zoned commercial or conditional use. That isn't the place for it. We have allowed this situation to go on longer than we should in fear of retaliation. And honestly, the safety of our friends and family and preserving our neighborhood is more important. Please deny this application. Protect our safety. Allow our neighborhood to be preserved as farm residential as its intentional use. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a lot. That's a very emotional response when I'm a single mom running a business and this is my livelihood that we're talking about. This year, I had a water backup in my home and I had to move out in February and I didn't come back until May or June. I had to stay in an Airbnb. I was 9 months pregnant. I was in and out of the hospital, and hence why my business hasn't been doing as well this year and things haven't been moving around as much in prior years. It doesn't mean that they're not moving around, because they are, but roofing seasons do have a slow season, which we are approaching. I'm not doing anything to bother anybody. I'm not doing anything to retaliate. I did bring up that when I had asked them a favor, they told me no. And, you know, they had asked me a favor about my hill. They asked the neighbor a favor about their hill. We do things and we pay money because we're nice people. But this has gone too far in the 6 years of like, I don't like that, move that. You need to move this, I don't like it. And it's not just me. It's the corner. It's the daycare that was behind our house. It's the PTO at the school. She has a history of anytime she doesn't like something, she gets very involved. She recently disbanded the PTO at our elementary school.
Yeah, just talk about your application.
Let's keep this relevant to your
I also
application.
have photos, this is like this is getting to be crazy because my house is well kept. And for the last 6 years, I have looked at their trailers and their trash on the side of their house for 6 years. So if I could show you a picture.
No,
Again, please
no,
keep
that's irrelevant.
It's
Please keep this
irrelevant?
relevant
It
to your
Okay.
application.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. That's it. I mean, all I have to say is I'm not lying about anything.
Is that permanent lettering on your trucks? Like, did you have somebody put those on so it's not
Yes.
stick-ons or anything like that?
It's stick-on vinyl, like,
Okay. But it's not something you take off,
It's
put
not a
back on?
magnet.
no, it's not a
Okay.
magnet. No, and I'm not using it as a billboard. I position the trucks the way that they are for the exact reason that I said I don't have a reason to lie about anything. I position the trucks because it actually makes my driveway flow the best that it can flow. You know, I'm not trying to be mad or upset about anything because all these theories of why I'm doing this or why I'm doing that has literally nothing to do with the neighbors at all. It's how the driveway flows the best is why I'm doing it. I'm not doing anything to be vindictive. I made a point when I was approached that when I asked you a favor, you told me no. So it's just, in other words, just saying, quit asking me to move stuff around in my driveway. Like enough with that. I did call the police. I did have to call Delaware County, and they, just to have it documented, because at this point I feel like I'm being harassed. And they said very clearly that if they don't like it, then they should move. If they don't like something about their neighbors, they should not be
Right.
there.
Again, let's keep it to what you're requesting to the board, not
Yeah.
a personal
I mean, I'm
dispute with the
requesting
neighbor.
that I don't have an outside office. I'm not going to buy or purchase one anytime in the near future. There's no reason to. I still breastfeed. I have a 7-month-old at home. I'm able to work downstairs, walk upstairs, feed my baby, give her back to the nanny, go back downstairs, do the work that I need to do. I drop my son off at school in the morning. I come back and pick him up. I'm just trying to live life and run a business, and I'm not trying to upset or kill anybody, which
Thank you.
Understood.
Yeah, so we need to hear the rest of public comment, and then you'll have a chance to speak if you
Speak
want to.
again.
Yeah.
Okay?
Can I ask Eric a question? So if I'm just a Orange Township resident and I work for a roofing company, and my employer allows me to take my truck home, which has lettering and a ladder on it, is that in and of itself a zoning violation? So
In
if
of
I,
itself, no,
okay.
it would not be.
Sir?
Hi, my name is Luke Ruoff. I also live at 7327 Africa Road. Yes, I have been sworn in.
Thank you.
Sorry, I brought some notes here. I'd like to state that I believe that this conditional use should be denied. First and foremost, it does not meet the land use plan for the address in question as applied, and the surrounding area is entirely single-family use. This priority of the township was reiterated, again, as previously stated, when Stellar Construction was denied their rezoning. To be painted a light that I was threatening, necessitating a call from the police is a misrepresentation of what actually occurred. I walked next door. She has a Ring camera. If you'd like to see the video, you can ask her. I politely asked, for the safety of our son, who got his license the next week, could we please scoot the trucks up? I don't have an answer where they go, how to do it. Could we please move them up? I'm terrified Grant or one of his friends are going to pull out. Get blasted T-boned. 45 miles an hour is a slow day on that road, okay? I sent, sir, a bunch of pictures to you, and it's repeated pictures of those trucks not moving, being the primary object to block my line of sight from my car window at the end of my driveway. And I drive a not lifted truck. All of our trucks are lifted. That's fine, that's great, that's all right. My son drives a smaller Jeep Cherokee. His visibility is even worse.
Not to cut the presenter off, I did only receive 2 photos, and that was something that I did put on the folder to be shown. I don't believe it was from you, sir, but it might have been
Okay,
from your
I'll
wife.
have my laptop over here in a minute.
So if the
so-
board wants to access those photos, I just wanted to let them know that you're welcome to
Okay,
look at
so
them.
we
As,
can go
as
on
she
the Google
refused
Drive?
to,
Different photos, yeah.
said she wasn't gonna do it, that the threat may have been, if we have to get someone else involved, we will. Okay, that is a reasonable explanation that I can reach out to the township, right? Or if somebody is to get hurt, I'm using this as an opportunity to put her company, and the township on notice that we have a safety issue. And if somebody gets injured, all parties will be held liable, right? And I don't want to do that. I don't want to make her life difficult. I want her to be successful. I just want my kid to be able to pull out of the driveway safely. That is it. If you decide to grant this, fine. I'm not gonna argue it. I don't know if there's an appeal process. I don't really care to appeal it. I just ask that we can see out of our driveway. That's the only thing I've ever asked of anyone that's lived in that residence. Some weeds, there's some weeds in our fence, okay? Like simple neighborly things. The only real ask I've ever had is, can we see to get out of our driveway, please? And it's your right to deny or approve this. Section 2807A2 reads, "The proposed use of such a nature and designed to be constructed, operated, and maintained in such a manner so as to be harmonious and appropriate to the existing intended character of the general vicinity, and that such will not change the essential character of the same area." Those trucks change the character. Case in point, they block my visibility. It changes the aura and the intended purpose of the area. If they're allowed to be parked in the backyard, the previous person who lived with them, the one time I asked him to move the trucks, he put them in the backyard. Did I love that eyesore? No. Did I complain anymore? Also no. Right? We just want to be safe. The proposed use will not be hazardous or disturbing to existing or future neighboring uses. Okay? It's creating a hazard. If you approve it, just nix the hazard. Don't let the trucks be parked close to the road we can't see. The proposed use will have vehicle approaches to the property which are so designed not to create interference with traffic. Again, we have people that feel uncomfortable pulling in or out of our driveway because of these trucks.
Sir, did you say, and I'm sorry, I wasn't able to find it on the drive, but that's probably my issue. Is there a picture anywhere from the end of your driveway, like where you're looking both ways?
So I have several pictures on my laptop here. That are
Yeah,
from
I
me in
mean,
my car.
those really don't do us any good, because I can't enter your laptop into the record unless you want to leave it
I
to the
emailed them
township.
to Eric before this meeting, so they should be in his email. They're from Luke Groff at Hotmail. Please check your junk email box. Because, they
Same
were
with,
sent.
same thing with the video, right? I mean, I know you all looked
I've
at
got
the video.
one,
but-
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures.
Is that your picture?
Which one is that? That's her picture. But you can see our mailbox. That's
That's
taken
what I
from our
wanted to see.
mailbox. Right? And we can't see between the light and the tree, or that power pole and the tree. Okay? Like, look, I get maybe in the morning when they're shuffling trucks around because someone's picking them up, great. Okay? I'm not a guy who's completely inflexible, but those trucks do not move.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Based upon that picture?
Mhm.
So we keep talking about alleviating a visibility issue. Where is that line? I mean, how far up do
So,
the trucks need to be parked? I guess that's, we keep saying it, but I'm not hearing anybody say specifically where that line should be in order to address what.
And I'll be 1,000% honest.
Yeah.
Just as when I approached it the first time, I admitted that I did not have a positive solution. I did not say, this is a great idea. But I am happy to meet anybody, including herself, at the property is concerned, and say, hey, what do we feel comfortable with? And be like, okay, if you can just make sure that the tallest point of this truck or the tail light of this truck stays here, and like, I'll even pay to have it marked or something, a pin, whatever. So that way it's super obvious. Like we're not trying to be inflexible.
It feels
just
like
wanna be able to
half
see.
a truck up would solve it to me, but
If-
I don't know. I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm not an engineer, and I'm not a visibility expert. I don't know.
Right,
you know.
I can tell you that when that truck is not there, I can see cars coming from the light. When that truck is there, I don't always see the car coming from the light, especially bike night, motorcycles. I cannot see them when that truck
So
is
it's
there.
not both trucks in the way, it's the one truck in the way.
It's the one truck, the forward truck, the one to the left that's like half cut off, that blocks nothing. That's totally okay. It's the second truck.
Okay. That's very helpful, thank you.
Yeah.
And how long, and this is just your opinion, but how often is that truck moved, that last
In the last
truck?
3 months, or since before my son got his license in September, it has been there every single day, except maybe a day or two. Every day. And at night, and in the morning when Grant goes to school. It's there. They're not coming at 5 o'clock in the morning, swapping cars out and leaving a smaller vehicle at the garage door, even if people were coming to pick up that truck. Grant leaves for school at 6:30 in the morning. That truck is sitting right there, and it's difficult for him to see get out. He is terrified when the weather turns, and, you know, he's 16. And I understand that that's not hers. That's not her kid. I get that. That's not her problem if we want to label it something. Except that as a community, someone says, my 16-year-old kid is afraid to pull out of his driveway. A simple solution, please be to move this one vehicle so he can be safe, and the answer is no. And I don't know, I said, you know what, just don't ask any favors from us anymore. Because as my wife previously stated, we've done things for her, which is fine. It's not tit for tat. I don't want that. I'd be happy to do a favor for anybody. Okay? I just want my kid or his friends, or no offense to any grandparents in the room, their grandparents who are 70+ years old, to be able to pull to my driveway and not get T-boned by a car. Because let's be honest, we live in an affluent neighborhood. There are a lot of sports cars, a lot of Corvettes, and where they love to run the gears, that's Africa Road. So 45 miles an hour is a very conservative speed limit right there at the light. That's not what people are typically doing. It's at least 55 to 65 through there. And, you know, maybe we could use your measuring device again if you wanted to, but typical stopping distance per AI for 45 miles an hour is about 100 yards. That's less than 100 yards from where you can see the cutoff at like the power pole to like where our driveway would be.
Okay.
You know, I got a lot of stuff written here, and I got a lot of evidence. There's, you know, the Section 705 prohibited uses. Those trucks could very easily, should be easily considered commercial equipment. She does not drive them for personal use. They have the lettering of the company on them. She stated they get dropped off by employees and picked up by employees. Says they are equipment, which is not permitted. It's a prohibited use under Section 705, Part D. No trailer, boats, motorhomes, equipment of any type shall be parked in front of the front building line.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
If the truck was not in your way, do you have any other issue with her having a
It's
business
actually
there?
like one of the last things in here. If my statements or evidence have not convinced the board and they determine that they should grant this conditional use, please stipulate as a condition of the approval that no vehicles may block the line of sight for my driveway for safety purposes.
That's what we need to hear, thank you.
Yeah, if that's what it takes, like, I want you to be successful. I want you to kill it. I do. I don't care. I just want to be able to pull to my driveway, or my kid. I've been driving for 25 years-ish, right? You've been driving for a month and a half. It's not the same thing. Her pulling out in her lifted truck backwards, that's fine. She's been driving for 20 years. He's 16. His friends are 16, right?
Yeah.
It's very different.
I have a question though too, also based on the section that you're referencing.
That's why I asked Eric that question.
Has this come up in previous, any cases at all
Not in my
regarding
time
a
here,
truck with
no.
signage?
Not in my time with the township, not to say historically that it hasn't been discussed before, but no, none in the last.
No, so I would think it would, the interpretation is historically been that that type of vehicle is not a zoning violation.
Yeah.
It's not considered quote-unquote equipment.
Thank you.
Like I say, it doesn't make any difference what the federal or anybody else says equipment is. It's how it's defined in our zoning.
Correct, and that's why I asked the question of Eric for
Yeah.
your reference earlier, that,
Yeah.
you know, if I'm just Pete Griggs and live in a typical subdivision and I drive that vehicle as part of my job, I'm allowed to park that in my driveway.
Yeah.
And that's not considered a zoning violation.
And that's why we're being so clear, because there are
No.
only certain
Yeah.
things in our purview
I
to
completely
weigh in on,
understand.
And we
I-
need to make
I
sure we
understand what
stick
she
to that.
would like to do and where the sections of that where it's appropriate.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not wholesale against anything, right? And I would disagree to state that someone taking their work car home to park in their residential driveway of 25 miles an hour is the same thing as what we're talking about, because it's not. But that's a risk that the township, the LLC, and the individual will have to take, that if that's either continuing to happen or continued to be allowed to happen, you know, that's one person's opinion that that's not equipment. Pretty sure there's a lot of lawyers out there would beg to differ. Okay, I don't want to sue anybody. I don't have a lawyer. I've never used a lawyer. I would even know who to call for a lawyer. But if something happens, if someone gets hurt, and everyone's been made aware that there's a safety issue, what else can I do? That's it. That's my only next option, right? So if that's a threat, so be it. I'm just making everyone aware of my intentions, that I only want people to be safe. And it's not just my 16-year-old. I've got a 14-year-old. I've got a 10-year-old. He drives with them. Could you imagine my entire life leaving one vehicle and get smacked because someone doesn't want to move one truck?
You had mentioned, or someone had mentioned, the vehicles being parked in behind the residence at one time?
Previously, we had seen the other picture that was upgraded roofing. The person that she was living with at the time, he ran that company. They ran it together. And he had parked it towards the end. I was like, Richard, I can't see to get out, man. I'm freaking out. You know, could you move it? And he got really shitty. I was like, would you just come, please? Stand in my driveway and look. He's like, you're right. And next to that red barn is a double gated, like farm fence, that if you open up both gates, you can back a truck up in there. And did I love looking at a truck in the backyard? No. But as soon as he moved it, did I ever complain that there was a truck in his backyard? Absolutely not. You know, I consider myself like kind of just live and let be, right? As long as you're not causing me problems, well, that truck is causing me a problem because I'm not going to keep saying it, I guess, a broken record, so. Did you get those pictures? Did you find them?
I did not see an email from you, only from your wife, so you might have to resend that. I checked my spam folder and all the folders I could look around in.
Okay, well, I will send them again, because,
Sometimes we do have size limit requirements, so you might
Yeah.
break it up in a couple emails just to be safe.
yep, I'll send it one per.
Thank
So,
you.
thank you.
No, I want to make sure we've got all the questions,
Well,
and,
if anyone else wants to
and-
speak.
and someone else might want to speak, so.
She can come back up once we establish that, though, correct?
Yeah,
Okay, yep.
It was like the quickest, I don't,
Just
sir?
you probably only.
Good evening. I'm
Good
Peter Mason, 7455 Red Maple Place, and what was the question, last question? I raised my
Are you
hand.
Sworn in?
Yes, I sworn in.
Okay.
I'm from Maple Creek community, which has the concern that was referred to as putting commercial on the corner. So my concern is more the precedent being established here for a commercial changeover in the neighborhood. You have dealt with my next door neighbors who have a barn and have a business, and we know that it's hard for you guys to keep track of it's our responsibility as neighbors to keep you informed of that. This putting commercial vehicles with what I would call signage the size of a billboard right next to the road is not reflective of a neighborhood, a community. It is distinct from a gentleman who may take their truck home for the evening and go to work the next day, to have commercial vehicles parked in front of. And when we turn and we go by every day, we realize the obstruction it brings to the neighbor who wants to come out, but also we feel that corner. When you live near that corner, it's a corner. And I think the concern about safety, that's not directly my concern. My concern is the movement towards commercial use of residential farm area. So I'm going to speak for the Maple Creek folks in that concern. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So I also think it's important for this board to understand there's a difference between something being quote-unquote commercial and a home occupation. And you have defined home occupation in your code, which is different than commercial. And you've listed out the standards and the factors. So, what the trustees considered was a true rezoning of property to commercial. Home occupations are not the same.
And she's asking for a home occupation.
She's asking for a home
additional.
occupation.
Okay.
And your job is to
Which is
review
not
the
the same.
application to see if it meets the standards that are listed in the code.
Thank you
Correct.
for pointing that out.
Ma'am, wait till you're up here, because it is being recorded.
So Jennifer Ruoff, the neighbor, so it is, yes, there is a difference in that. And I actually disagree with everything that you've said tonight, but there is a difference
club.
in that is the commercial, I don't care if she works from her home. And I'm different from my husband. I don't want to look at the trucks. I get maybe one, but we don't need 3. She doesn't have any employees. I want her to kill it. I want her to do great, but I don't want to look at that. It does change what our neighborhood looks like. It does change it. And obviously there are issues where the trucks just keep getting moved. How about we just do no trucks? She can still work from home, but the trucks can go somewhere else. That's literally all that I'm asking for. I don't care if they're home occupation and then having commercial vehicles are different. I don't care if she works and runs a business out of the home. I do care if those vehicles are there, because they will be in the way, or they do change the way our neighborhood looks. I don't want our neighborhood to look like that. We've had to do it for so long, and again, we've been afraid to say anything for a really long time, and now we're not going to anymore. And the fact that there were threats and stuff like that never upon us is disencouraging, but we need to remember that at the end of the day, it's approved the home occupation, great. We don't need trucks there. She can run her business, the trucks don't move. She can run her business without those trucks, or they can go somewhere else. So that's the last.
All right, thank you.
Eric, I'm reading through the email that you shared with us. You responded to her email
Yeah.
saying the trucks are a separate issue and they could remain there even if we deny this. So we can't tell her not to park her trucks there.
Well, yeah, essentially, going back to the earlier exchange, if it's a different residence in the township, or any residence for that matter, and they have a vehicle with a decal on it, that can be used as a personal vehicle. So it's about the definition. So again, the only standard that was applicable and enforceable for the zoning department was that
Was the
7-day
park.
outdoor
Okay. I just wanna make
inoperable or unused vehicle exceeding period of 7 days.
So in other words, if she didn't have her office there, then all those vehicles could be legally parked there under our zoning resolution.
But you said we could put some
But
conditions on it.
She is asking for that home occupation.
Yeah.
So we
And
can
we
put
have
some
the ability
conditions.
to look at certain conditions, if we were to approve the application, that we felt was necessary to address the issue, the criteria in your code.
Okay, I'm sorry, I keep asking the question
Yeah, no.
different ways,
Yep.
but I want to make sure I'm understanding.
Yep.
I think it's relevant because of the whole statute with the home occupation with business, that we limit signage. A very small sign that is permitted on a residence that is used as part of our code. So the trucks and the signage that's on the trucks is almost de facto advertising the way that it's sitting there. So that is relevant to me with this. When I didn't see those trucks, then we wouldn't know you even had a roofing business going out of your house. Then that's not an issue at that point. And that's usually the cases that we're seeing when we have these where it's very discrete signage and very discrete use of the residents in that regard. So that's, in my mind, where it does become relevant. But I think what I'm, with the testimony from the residents and the neighbors, it's mainly that the truck that happens to be closest to the roadway that is causing a lot of consternation. So I guess the issue is what we can do and whether we have any ability to limit or restrict that. That's the reason why I was asking about parking in rear or parking on the side of that detached garage. Yes, I just wanted
Should we see if
to,
there's anyone else who, in the audience who needs to speak first? Because have we
Is there any-
exhausted everyone?
well, is anyone else here to?
Was there anyone else who's going to speak on this issue?
Okay.
Sorry.
Also, just to put it on the record, that there were 9 various email comments that we had received, the zoning department received, and passed those along to you, 2 of which included the photos as presented on the screens.
But not different people, just email.
I believe that was about 6 or 7 different people.
Okay.
That's what you have in front of you, and that printed out.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, several points. One, when you had the picture pulled up of their visibility, what's considered visibility? How far does someone have to be able to see down the road? Because I could see all the way to the next neighbor's driveway. It's not like it gets to my driveway and it's an abrupt brick wall and they can't see past my driveway anymore. They're talking about up over a hill into a traffic light to which they were able to see before and they can't see. The other thing is parking my truck in, where he thinks it's just easy to pull up through my yard, through my grass, tear up my whole backyard. I have a barn door that it's just a little latch and it swings open and you could potentially put something back there like my ex did. However, it's just on the grass. I have a son who's autistic who likes to stick his arm up at the tailpipe. That's why we couldn't leave it back there the last time Richard put it back there. My son's also, like I said, very autistic and very obsessed with vehicles, and he's 7 now. And they know themselves that one time he eloped and got out and was in their vehicle in their front yard. It was the one time it scared me to death, okay? I don't need any more reasons for my son to want to get out and get inside of a vehicle, especially if there's one parked in my backyard. I have a dog back there, so we're just gonna open the gate. I'm supposed to expect people who show up to make sure my kid doesn't get out, make sure my dog doesn't get out. You know what I mean? Like, that's asking me a lot. And the point of this whole thing has nothing to do with it's commercial and they don't like it. It has everything to do with they're highly emotional because their son got a license. Now, for example, if I'm on campus and I go to pull out onto 4th Street, what's there? They got those cars parked in the middle now. They're not even on the sides anymore. They're in the middle because they have the bike path in between. So you can't see. There's not visibility. And you have to inch out to look to be able to go. And the point of that is, yes, you have a 16-year-old son. Yes, I understand that you're concerned, but if you're concerned, then take your son into situations like that, teach him better, because the second he pulls out of our driveway, he's gonna run into the same problem somewhere else. There's always low visibility, especially in the city, and for that example, just like that, like campus, you know what I mean?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Could you move your truck, those 2 trucks on the right 10 feet forward?
10 feet forward? No, because like I said, then it would, the space that the person would park their car at is gone. The space that the landscaping guy that goes in between is gone. It's just gone.
How far forward could you move them?
I moved the one that's closest to the driveway as close to the one that's in front of it, so that they're like inches apart now instead of like a couple feet apart, just to squish it in a little bit more.
What we measured before was about a 100-foot driveway.
Right,
Those trucks are no longer than 30 feet apiece.
right.
They're actually probably closer to 25 feet apiece, so I'm adding on 5 feet in case there's a ladder sticking off the top of it. 2 trucks, that's 60 feet. You have 100 feet. You have 40 feet to work with.
But
I
how-
think in
how-
order to have a conditional, I understand what you're trying to do there. I think in order for me personally to say that this is a conditional use and I would approve it, is there would be a condition that you are, I don't know, probably 25 to 30 feet from the road edge. And you couldn't park any closer than that.
That wouldn't be possible for then anybody who would come in the driveway.
That's not the
That's
issue.
limiting my whole entire driveway.
That's limiting what you have arranged as being the most convenient way of someone driving a car there to pull in so they can get in the truck and pull right out. There might have to be some maneuvering that goes on when they come to pick up a truck, but I'm not
No.
sure that that is the neighbor's problem.
So no, it's not just so that the person can get in and pull back out, it's the flow. The roofing trucks are on the right side, my personal truck's in the middle, because I go out.
I'm just saying, if I was going to vote to approve this,
And
there would be
then-
conditions that would mess around with your flow.
Same. I mean, I don't want to say you can't have a conditional use and can't have a business there, because I think that's silly. But I also think asking for 3 trucks in the driveway is a lot. So where can we meet in the middle? So, I guess what I was trying to get at is help us understand what concessions you are willing to make. So hopefully we can make something that works, that you've already thought through, rather than mandating something that's not gonna work. And I don't, that's 2 of us.
I'm not even sure we can mandate what we just said.
He said we could.
So, you know, we do have the ability to recess
And discuss.
and discuss the merits of the application in private
Okay.
with me, if this board is so inclined to do so. So we would need a motion to recess the case in order to discuss the merits of the
I
application
move
in
to
private.
send us into private deliberation.
Perfect.
Second?
All in
Can I
favor?
make
Aye.
one, or no, should I not say anything? I just wanted to make one more point, of the points that I was trying to make when I came up here.
Okay.
That's very rude and wrong and inaccurate to say she doesn't need this many trucks to do this, that they never move, that she has no idea how my business runs, what the plans are, et cetera. So I'm just trying to, again, just run my business. And for someone to say they don't need to be there because they don't like them is not.
We hear both sides,
Yeah.
so thank you for reiterating that.
Okay.
So I got a motion from Mr. McCoy and a second from Ms. Ross. Those voting,
Nope,
Mr.
not
McCoy?
Ms. Ross.
From me.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Ms. Neff, I'll do it again. Motion made by Mr. McCoy, seconded by Ms. Neff.
I seconded it.
Oh, you did?
Mr.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, not me.
3rd time's the charm. Motion made by Mr. McCoy, seconded by Mr. Pax. Those voting, Mr. Treff,
Yes,
Mr. Pax,
Yes.
Ms. Neff,
Yes.
and Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
we will try to make this brief.
Okay.
So,
5
hang
minutes.
on.
Second.
Mr. Travis?
Aye,
Yes.
or yes?
Yep, okay. Ms. Neff?
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
All right, return back to regular session.
Are we closing
We're good.
public comment, or you want me to make a motion?
No, we have to make the, no, we have to close public comment.
You can close public comment now if it's the will of the board.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Go for it.
I would like to make a motion to move all letters, emails, photos, the application, and the staff report that has been received as of the time I'm making the motion, which is 7:53 PM, into the record as exhibits.
Correct. Yep.
I move that we close public comment for
No,
this.
to
Oh, I
vote on
need
the
a
motion,
second.
that's,
Huh?
yep.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Ms. Neff, seconded by Mr. Pax. Those voting, Mr. Travis?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Now I'll close public comment for this application.
Correct.
I second.
Is that a vote?
Go ahead and take a vote.
Yeah,
Mr. Travis?
yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Okay. I make a motion. Now I'm
I'm
gonna
going to have some discussion on the application. My feelings on the application is I am in favor of a conditional use with a condition. I think tonight's presentation has exhibited giving the topography of the real estate there, the neighbor's real estate, the roadway, the changes to the road, what you've got going on at your house, the applicant's house with the parking. I think that a safety issue exists based on the testimony that we've received, the documents we've seen, the pictures that were shown. And so I would put forward a motion to approve the conditional use of your home-based business, but with the condition that any vehicle parked at your home be 30 feet from the edge line of Africa Road. So you would take the far outside line, the yellow line, white line, whatever it is on the outside of the road, and come back 30 feet towards your house, and you would have no vehicles parked in that area.
I'll second the motion.
Well, was that an official?
That's
I
my
think his
discussion.
Oh, that's your discussion.
Yeah.
I
If you would
thought
like
you
me
were-
to put that, if anybody else wants to discuss.
Might be out of turn, but there's no way for her or I to know whether that's reasonable. Like 30 feet is not that far.
Public comment is
Public
closed
comment
right
is
now.
Public comment is
closed.
closed.
I understand that, but I'm just telling you, it doesn't fix the safety.
Public comment
Okay,
is
public
closed.
comment's closed.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So, well, we can still discuss, right? You suggested that 30 feet would be measured from where?
From the edge of the road. Typically, you would have a right-of-way in this situation, and I don't know what the right-of-way dimension is. So right-of-ways are measured from the center line of roads typically back towards the property and away from that center line to the property across the street. If you had a 50-foot right-of-way from a center line of a road, you'd have 25 feet from that center line back towards your property. You'd have 25 feet to the property across the street.
So you're saying 30 feet from that
Good.
yellow?
Yeah.
I'm saying, no. I'm saying
Don't.
that we're going likely a little further than that to add some safety factors to that. Because I'm talking about 30 feet from the edge of the roadway, not the center
white
line of the
line. It's a
roadway,
white
the
line.
white
Well,
line.
there should be a white line.
There is a
Right
white
there.
line.
Looks like a
There was a
An
white
E
line in
or
the
a-
picture.
There's a white.
gutter.
When it was measured before, that was approximately 100 feet. Actually, it was 101 something, 101-foot driveway, I think, rounded. Prior to the construction, it measured out to be approximately 112 feet. And these are digital measurements on
Mr. McCoy,
an
I just-
overview.
One clarification, are you talking about the edge of the pavement area, which would be the curb and gutter?
The white line.
Yes, Yes,
curb and
30
gutter.
feet from the curb. and-
I wanted to make
Yep,
that
yep.
distinction because that is something that does need to be kind of explained. Okay.
Yes, correct. That,
No.
No.
Questions, or, there's no public comment right now.
so again, and at least in our understanding and deliberation, there is a white line, the edge line there on the right side of that roadway. And the concrete apron is, we're construing that part of the driveway. That is not, we're talking from the white line, edge of asphalt of the roadway, 30
Because
foot
the
setback.
right-of-way does extend farther typically.
Yes.
With this road being widened, I wouldn't imagine it's a great distance now. But I just wanted the board to be aware that there is going to be a little bit more right-of-way than where you see from the curb itself.
Right, that's why
Yes.
I think the,
I'm extending it past that.
Yeah.
Because I think you could legitimately state that, well, you can't park any vehicle in the right-of-way. You have the use of your driveway to cross the right-of-way to get to where you're parking. They've measured digitally, and it's not a fixed concrete measurement without actually going to the house to take a look, but it is fairly sophisticated system that they're using and is pretty good guesstimate of what's going on there. So I'm proposing that you be no closer parking any vehicle in your driveway than 30 feet to what can be delineated as the curb.
Okay.
So where the curb meets the edge of the grass. Everybody understands that, correct?
Yeah, but you're talking probably to where the transition is, I would imagine. 30 feet in would be.
I'm not certain that is that far.
That's probably
50 feet.
So,
Right.
because
Yeah,
the edge
from
of
there.
the truck was somewhere past the apron, and that was 20 feet.
And ma'am,
Right there was 20 feet.
and I understand we're not allowing any more comments, but I understand what you're trying to state there.
It's right
30
there.
feet.
It's halfway.
Right there, right?
Yeah.
That's 29.8 feet.
That is behind that that pole in question, okay? So we
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
That to me is a very significant marker, at least when we're looking at sight lines from the photos we were reviewing. That was, to that intersection, that's 30 feet back from the edge of roadway that we're talking about. So
It's
that seems
basically,
reasonable from a safety standpoint, from
Does
sight
that
lines.
apply to their driveway considering they park at the end of the?
no,
road?
that's, all right.
nope.
This is a
No
condition
more.
attached to your conditional use
comment.
of having a home-based business.
And the number of trucks that you may be parking there on that driveway also, so.
Motion?
Okay.
I will go forward that a motion to approve based on these factors and with the additional condition of not being able to park any vehicles within 30 feet of where the curb meets the grass back towards your house, 30 feet distance. Is that,
Is there
good.
an actual law, because I thought that there wasn't one that.
Good, the motion, no.
if you
We've
want,
got a
I'm more
motion.
than happy to talk to you afterwards, but they're making a motion right now,
Well,
okay?
we're just
So,
making stuff up,
no,
right?
no, so we're not entertaining your testimony right now. The board is considering a motion. I'm happy to talk to anybody after the meeting.
I'll start back over. I move to approve based on these factors and the additional condition that no parking of any vehicles, cars, trucks, motorcycles, or otherwise, as a condition of your conditional use for a home-based business, be parked within 30 feet from the edge of the roadway defined by where the curb meets the grass, directed towards your home. And therefore, with that condition, I move to approve case number CU 2524 for the property located at 7343 Africa Road, Galena, Ohio 43021, seeking a conditional use from section 7.04A of the Orange Township zoning resolution to allow for the operation of a home occupation, home-based business for office and interior storage of supplies, as well as parking of company vehicles with the aforementioned condition. as outlined in the request above in an area zoned farm residential, District FR1.
Go for it.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve, subject to the condition described, made by Mr. McCoy, second by Ms. Neff. Those voting, Mr. Trevs?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy.
Yes.
Next application.
Thank you.
All right, well, we're on our third item of new business this evening, and that would be under variance and conditional use case number VA-CU 25-25. This is for the property at 8090 West Orange Avenue. This is a 1.5 acre farm residential district zoned parcel. The owner is Anthony Petiti, and the company representing the applicant, or as the applicant representative, is the Cleary Company, in custody of John Hamlet. This property, as far as the description of the request, is seeking a conditional use for the enlargement of a non-conforming structure as per Orange Township zoning resolution section 24. Also seeking an area variance from Orange Township zoning resolution section 24.03E for an enlargement of a non-conforming use exceeding 50% of the existing non-conformity in a farm residential district. So this is located as, it's a corner lot property located at 8090 West Orange Avenue, and that's on the north side of West Orange Road and west side of West Orange Avenue. So the existing home was constructed in 1980, and it's a 2,328 square foot overall size home according to Delaware County Auditor records. The applicant is seeking the conditional use from section 24 to allow for the enlargement of greater than 50% of a non-conforming use. The applicant also seeking that single area variance from 24.03E for an addition, which will be greater than 50% of the size of the existing non-conforming use. For the surrounding area, this is in all four directions around the parcel, farm residential district zoning. The land use to the north is single-family residences. Land use to the south is West Orange Road right-of-way and single-family. Land use to the east is West Orange Avenue right-of-way, and to the west, the land use is single-family as well. All right. So this is on the north side of West Orange Road, and the west side of Orange Avenue. We'll show you zoomed in view showing the home, existing home, which is non-conforming based on its proximity to West Orange Avenue. For the staff review portion, this is a conditional use from section 24.0E. So the conditions, the criteria in relation to enlargement of non-conforming use are listed A through E for your reference. To explain a little more clearly, the new addition will be 2,457 square feet in size, and will include an attached 3-car garage and living space above it with 2 attached covered porches. As part of the site modifications, the applicant indicated that an existing 14-foot by 20-foot freestanding garage that is set back approximately 5 feet from the West Orange Avenue right-of-way will be demolished. According to the above listed standard, the addition may not exceed 1,164 square feet, or 50% of the area of the home. Therefore, this proposal exceeds the requirement by 1,293 square feet. This represents an approximately 111% variance based on our calculation. And Exhibit 1 contains the site plan, so that gives you an idea of how close the existing home is, which is slightly beyond, approximately 11 feet closer to the West Orange Avenue right-of-way than the requirement of 60 feet. You see that 60-foot build line there. So the existing home is a non-conforming use, and then the hashed area with the diagonal lines is the proposed addition that was just described. And lastly is the existing freestanding garage, which we do have photos of here in a moment. wanted to show a different view of the site plan, which has an overlay of our measurements using our measuring software. So the existing home is approximately 49 feet and a few inches away from the West Orange Avenue right-of-way. And then the proposed addition, it will be right at 30 feet and 0 inches. All right, for further reference and understanding, we included the exhibits from the applicant's materials. So this shows the floor plan of the first floor. That will include this garage with a total of space for 3 cars attached, covered porch on one side and another covered porch on the opposite end. And then there's a connecting area with entryway. And then there is also some living space proposed above it. So the second floor plan is showing that living space for your reference. All right, and the last exhibits contain some renderings, so that gives you a clear idea of the finished product. Once again, showing those 3-car space, 3-car garage, and porches, as well as living space on top of the garage area. So staff went out on that cold, snowy day. We did so on a Monday as well, if I'm recalling correctly, but hopefully this gives you a good illustration of the existing conditions with 3 cones delineating the extents of, the close cone is the far extent of where the addition would go to, and then you can see, I believe we overlaid a little dotted line for perspective of where the, so that's a couple photos further.
Yeah.
Before I jump there, if you pause right there, I wanted to make mention of that dotted yellow line. That would be the far extent of the new garage. And then obviously that encroaches closer than where the existing garage is now. But by comparison, the existing freestanding garage is only 5 feet setback from the West Orange Avenue right-of-way, and that is slated to be demolished. So I think this photo probably gives the best representation of how things will change. All right, and that is it for our staff review. The rest of the report contains the consideration criteria and some possible motions for your consideration. So if there are any questions, that's what I'm here for.
Eric, on the square foot of the addition, is that a total of the first and second level?
Yeah, that's the, those are, I believe the measurements came from the applicant. They can clarify 100%, but as I recall, yes, that's the first and second floor. Yep.
Okay. Anybody else have questions for Eric?
My name is George Cleary, representing the clients, the Petiti family, in the Cleary Company here. I was sworn in.
Thank you.
I would like to clarify on that square footage. That is the 2457, I think is what was called out in the application. That would be both the first floor garage space and the second floor. The habitable, as is currently drawn, I think is around 1,100 square feet of finished space for a family member.
So you'd have the 1,100 above and then 1,100 plus a little bit more below, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
That will be a garage unfinished
yeah,
parking area. So we're actually turning the current garage into a habitable living room space of the current home. So there will, and demoing that freestanding 1-car garage. So all old garage spaces will be uninhabitable by car.
other questions?
Both the existing garage attachment and the detached garage were already there when the homeowners originally purchased the home. So I'm not sure when those were constructed, but probably 50-plus years ago, the way we see it.
I don't either. I don't have any questions. Do we want to see if there's any public comments?
Yeah, I was just thinking I had a question.
Oh, okay.
But, public comments for this application? Okay,
And you did, perhaps you saw in the application, there were a couple that were supportive.
yeah,
See that?
I did see that.
Okay.
Sir?
No, I was just gonna point that
Oh, okay,
out.
okay.
The one is the property directly behind, and then the other in favor is the property across the street. So hypothetically, the two most impacted by this remodel, the one
Yeah.
straight off the driveway and the one behind.
I'm an old man. That's my son.
Okay.
This is gonna
Oh.
be out of the rest.
Gotcha. Okay.
Nothing from the resident that is actually to the, what is that, I'm assuming in these views, north is up?
North would be up,
Yeah.
So if you follow those setback lines down Orange Avenue, that would be north.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if, so the residents that had provided across the street and off to the east, basically, not to the west?
So east and north, yeah.
Okay, the resident to that right there, nothing?
The west, they communicated with the owners when they received their variance letter.
Yeah.
And they were told it was going to be on the furthest east point, and they were like, okay, cool.
Okay,
But looks from the drawing that if their farm residential and their easement was, or their right, or setback was 60 feet, that they're within 60 feet too.
sure, looks that way, doesn't it?
I'm usually a comment on your application. I'm usually very sensitive to setbacks, side yard setbacks especially. Many discussions about setbacks and why they keep getting smaller versus trying to keep people not on top of one another. So this actually takes the garage away, the single car garage away, which is in serious violation of the setbacks.
Yeah.
But I also look at this and say 1980. So when did the code exist versus when the house was built? My house is built in an area that if it was built today, you couldn't build a doghouse there, let alone the house, from the setbacks that are in place currently.
Yeah.
I have no issue with this. You're keeping a substantial setback of 30 feet. The other factor is that you don't have a neighbor. You've got a road right there. You do have the neighbor across the street, and the neighbor across the street has signed an email that was sent in saying that that's okay. And you're really trying to tuck the add-on into the existing, almost the existing footprint of the home, versus what you have now with the freestanding garage that's out sort of in the middle of nowhere. So that's my comment on what they're asking.
I completely agree with you. I think this is a lovely addition as well.
I would
Well
just
done.
like to move in.
And I
I think they are charging rent.
personally appreciate your desire to keep your father, your family member close to you, as I did that for my mom for many years.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah.
Someone want to make a motion?
Did
Go for it.
You go for it.
Based on these factors, I move to approve case number VA-CU-25-25 for property located at 8090 West Orange Avenue, seeking an area variance from Orange
Conditional
Town.
use? Oh, you're starting with, I'm sorry, I thought you were doing the other order.
Am I
Sorry.
doing the wrong one?
No, you can go either way, I believe. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Seeking an area variance from Orange Township zoning resolution, section 24.03E for an enlargement of a non-conforming use exceeding 50% of the existing non-conformity in an area zoned farm residential district. FR1.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Neff, seconded by Ms. Ross. Those voting, Mr. Trevs?
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Motion carries.
There's a-
That-
We have
got
one
There's a
more.
conditional.
That was
There's
the
the con-
conditional use, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the
That was the
area.
area.
That was the
area
area.
That was the area variance, okay,
Yeah, flip.
okay.
Was my packet in a different order?
No, you have.
On to the next.
Yeah.
Motion.
Based on the factors and testimony received, I move to approve case number VACU 2525 for the property located at 8090 West Orange Avenue, seeking a conditional use from Orange Township zoning resolution, section 24, to allow for the enlargement of a non-conforming use in an area zoned farm residential district, FR1.
I'll second.
Motion made by Ms. Ross, seconded by Mr. Pax. Those voting, Mr. Trevs?
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Good luck with the project.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good luck.
All right. Well, we're on to the final item, the final new business item and case for the evening. So this is a variance case under VA-25-26. This is for the property at 8337 Green Meadows Drive. That's a 9.7 acre planned industrial district zone parcel. The applicant is Logan Diltz with Day-Night Sign Company. This request entails seeking an area variance from the Orange Township zone resolution for a wall sign to be above the allowed height of 15 feet, 0 inches in a planned industrial district, in the planned industrial district. So the subject parcel located at 8337 Green Meadows Drive. And like I stated, this is a request for exceeding the height for a wall sign. So surrounding area includes planned industrial district to the north. Land use there is Green Meadows Industrial Park. To the south, the zoning is planned industrial. Land use is also Green Meadows Industrial Park. To the east is farm residential district zoning. The land use is the railroad track corridor. And to the west, zoning is planned industrial with land uses Green Meadows Industrial Park and Green Meadows Drive right of way. That is shown here more clearly on the zoomed out aerial view, a little bit north of East Powell Road and along the railroad corridor. Here's the zoomed in view for your context. The building still fronts towards Green Meadows, but it is essentially 45-degree angle to the road before it turns. All right, on to the staff review. This is an area variance request, as I described in the intro. So it's from section 22.03 for permitted signs, commercial industrial display signs. Such signs shall be located on or along a wall of such a building which faces a street, parking lot, or service drive, and shall be located no more than 15 feet above finished grade or the height of the ceiling of the first floor of the building, whichever is less. The applicant is proposing a wall sign with a height of 21 feet 0 inches from finished grade towards the right side of the west facade. This requires a variance of 6 feet and 0 inches, representing a 40% variance request from the maximum height permitted under Section 22 of the Orange Township zoning resolution. And there's your exhibit number 1 that shows that 21 feet and 0 inch height to the top of the sign, and that 6 foot variance. This is a sign of approximately 80 feet, I said 80 feet, 80 inches tall and 260 inches wide with the logo in text. And that sign is delineated in Exhibit 2 as sign number 3. I'll get to in just a second, but sign number 2 is an existing display area. So as promised, Exhibit 2. It's on that previous plan, how that's labeled is on the left side of the building. So this is for some reference for the BZ I thought would be helpful. The sign display area on the west facade along the left edge of the building, which is opposite sign number 3's proposed location, received approval via BZA case 15263 for a wall sign up to 22 feet in height from grade to the top of the sign. So along with sign number 3, sign number 2 is also proposed to be changed to kind of an updated logo, essentially, and that's proposed at 21 foot 6 inches from grade to the top of the sign, and that sign does not require variance because it is a face change. So I just wanted the board to be familiar with the entire facade and the signs there. So that's the extent of our staff review. The rest is the board analysis and example motions.
Is that sign, sorry, I had a question for
That's
Aaron.
all right.
Is that, does the approval of this, if it was approved, run with the owner?
It
Or
doesn't
building?
have an expiration, if that's the
So
question.
if somebody bought the building, they would be
Grandfathered in?
grandfathered in, so to speak?
Yeah. So if the building was sold, then they could change the sign out with the new business and at that location.
Logan Diltz with Day Night Sign. I have been sworn in.
Thank you. Anything to enlighten us on?
I will say, it looks like he might have had an older drawing. I know we had gone back and forth. I sent you a different packet. But we're actually asking for a 22-foot variance, just to make it equivalent to the sign on the corner. That way it gives us a little wiggle room.
It's not a 22-foot variance, it's a 22-foot height.
20, that's what you're saying,
Yeah.
though?
Yes.
Okay.
7 foot variance.
I gotta say, the 22, we gotta talk.
So that makes the variance 7 feet? Am I doing my math correctly?
Right. But yeah, we just want this new sign to be the same height as the one on the corner, so everything matches. That's all we're asking for.
Yeah. Questions, anyone?
No questions?
Nope.
I'll make a
Oh,
motion to
public
approve.
comment.
Huh?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well,
We-
don't we have to
Yeah.
ask? I don't know.
Yeah, I
Maybe
should
Maybe we don't.
I should ask, you're correct.
I don't know.
With no public comment, the board will proceed. I move to approve, based on these factors, case number VA 2526 for the property located at 8337 Green Meadows Drive, Lewis Center, Ohio 43035, seeking one area variance from Orange Township Zoning Resolution, Section 22, to allow for a wall sign identified in this report as sign 3 to be up to 7 feet above the allowed 15-foot 0 inches in the area zone planned industrial PI.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Trev, seconded by Ms. Ross. Those voting, Mr. Trevs,
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
So the sign, so
I know.
Well, I believe the only other item was the minutes that I sent out, and I'm always grateful for any, even if they're minutia, just corrections that you come forward with. So I know I heard from at least one of you. I'm trying to remember if 2 of you had responded. If anybody feels like there was anything that stood out.
Did you do the homework for us?
Happy to give you more time. Otherwise, feel free to make a motion. And that was for September's minutes, which we did have 2 that month.
Yeah.
So we had,
This
does it go
is
back?
We
the
need to do
18th.
the August 28th, though,
It did
also.
go back to August 28th for our special meeting, which I sent those out along with it, but I figured that those were fairly cut and dry. So if anybody feels like we need more time or wants to make a motion on each?
As he looks at me. I move that we approve the minutes of August 28th, 2025, the BZA as written.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ross, seconded by Mr. Pax. Those voting, Mr. Trevs?
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
I move that we approve the minutes of September 18th, 2025 as corrected.
I'll second.
Motion made by Ms. Ross, seconded by Mr. Trevs. Those voting, Mr. Trevs?
Yes.
Ms. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Pax?
Yes.
Ms. Neff?
Yes.
And Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
Great, thanks for all your efforts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You make it easy.
Make a motion to.
We try around here.
Yeah.
Are there any other business from anyone?
No.
Okay.
I
Is
move
there a
we
motion
adjourn.
to adjourn?
I move
All
we
in
adjourn.
favor?
Second that.
Aye.
Say aye.
We are adjourned.
I'll third.